Hello, here's an introduction of kind of how you should work on Canvas and my stat lab. So if you notice here, you have your home page, you have your announcements, my lab and mastering, modules, assignments, discussions, grades, quizzes, syllabus, Zoom, people, NetTutor, library resources, and the Greenleaf Library. So what I recommend is first you have a landing page. Okay, then you have the pre-statistics, and this is what I put in before the class started or before the semester began. You can click the arrows, so if you want to go back, you can look at those again, but it's not a requirement. It was just something for you to be able to kind of look into before you got into the class. Now, over here it says getting started. You're going to see some of the welcoming things, an introduction, a paragraph about attendance, what the course structure is like, what is the course content. This is the instructor contact information where you can find my office hours. Here's the syllabus. And then this is the link that you want to click on where it says register for my stat lab, which is required on the first day. You want to make sure you watch this video to be able to register for the course. Now, when you do that, you have to go through this tab in order to be able to register for my lab and mastering. One of the important things is that if you run into issues, you want to make sure you have the correct browser. It doesn't necessarily work that well with Safari. It does sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. Firefox, Chrome usually works okay, but if you're having issues, it's more than likely it could be the browser. And then there's the grade book, things you need to do to be successful in this course, the course schedule, which is also on your syllabus. Here's another place where questions about the course. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put any questions in there. And then here are the course objectives and the SLOs. So again, this is just sort of the getting started page. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. Now here's the course information. So there's guided notebooks, and those guided notebooks allow you to be able to take notes while you're going through the interactive textbook. Then you have access assignments in my stat lab and using guided notebook. You have the preface to student in my stat lab, which basically is a video to watch in regards to what is my stat lab about. Then you have the textbook PDF version. So I put in the textbook PDF version in here for you to be able to reference. And then there's a technology page here that talks about the technology we'll be using in this class, calculator and StatCrunch. Some more information about StatCrunch, which StatCrunch is a computer-generated software to do statistical analysis of the things that you'll see in this class. Here are guidelines for the stat talk discussion. So this is when you're doing your discussion questions. Here are the guidelines. This is instructor participation and feedback, your netiquette, and then accessibility. So again, this is just course information. Now for week 1, you have a title in here that says Introduction to Statistics, which goes from section 1.1 to 1.4. So it tells you what sections we're covering and what you should be covering for week 1. Now when you click on that, which I'm going to click on that, it gives you an outline. It tells you what you should be covering in those 4 sections. And then over here it says make sure to complete both of the following assignments. Your orientation assignment, introducing yourself, located in this module. Then you want to download and print the guided notebook for chapter 1. You want to download this because this is a great place to take notes. I'm going to go ahead and view that. Now, when you look at the data collection, what this does is you can print this out, or if you have a writing option on your computer, what it is it's notes that you would take as you're watching the interactive video and lecture. So it's set up in an organized way, and it tells you what video to click on, and then write the definition as you move along. So I highly recommend that you do this because this is going to be very important as you move along the course. And it's good to reference this material when you start your homework assignments or your quizzes and so forth. So make sure that you're printing those out. In addition to that, I've also include pointers. And pointers are a reference to make your way through the interactive reading assignments. And what this covers is basically definitions and things that you may also want to reference. So it talks about all the definitions that you're also going to see. So it's really important to have this information as you move along. And then in part 4, it'll say locate assignments on my stat lab. And then here are your assignments that you should be completing for week 1. Okay, so again, if you want to go back and look at the modules, then you can. If you go back to the section where it says pages at the top, it'll take you back to the module. So that would be week 1. Okay, and then week 2, you have another outline. And then there's some homework videos that I posted in there that you also want to take a look at. These are homework videos that are similar to the ones you're going to be experiencing. So if you need a little bit more help and I'm not available, or if it's after office hours, then you have another place to check out some help. And then on week 3, you're going to see it says organizing and summarizing. So each one is going to have an outline. It's going to tell you what you're doing for the week. And in week 3, you're going to see your first stat discussion question. And again, you're going to see homework videos underneath each week. And then the last thing I want to talk about is week 4. On week 4, you're going to see exam 1. So when you click on that, again, you're going to get an outline. It's going to talk about what you need to complete for that week. You're going to download the guided notebook and the pointers. And then these are the assignments that you want to complete. And then you have the instructions for the exam. So it's going to ask you, each exam is going to require a password. And if you look here, here's where the password is located. So you want to make sure that you always access the week of the outline for the week of that exam. And here's where you're going to find the password for each exam. So please make sure you make note of that as you move along. So that is the video on covering Canvas.